Hi, this is Breaking New Ground and I'm Eric Mieni. Thanks for joining us as we travel around looking at how our big cities are doing in terms of housing delivery. This time around, we are in Polokwane, which means place of safety, where the Limpopo government, together with the Polokwane municipality, are working very hard to ensure that people here, poor people, have places of safety, homes. Limpopo is also known as South Africa's gateway into Africa, with Mozambique to the east, Botswana to the west, and Zimbabwe to the north. Being one of South Africa's biggest provinces, covering about 10% of the entire country, it is also one of our most beautiful. But when apartheid's former Bantustans, Libuaho, Muvenda, Gazankulu, to name three, were integrated into South Africa, many people flocked to the then Pietersburg, now known as Polokwane, and created a huge housing shortage. Today we're going to take a look at what the government is doing to fix this problem. A lot of trucks and people move through Polokwane on the way to the rest of Africa and back. As a result, there's been a lot of investment in infrastructure development and upgrading. But housing still has to catch up, with about 15% of Polokwane residents living in shacks and informal settlements, which is why the municipality, together with the city, have started a number of housing developments. Like most cities in South Africa, Polokwane experienced some inner city urban decay. To reverse this, the municipality, together with the city, set up the Polokwane Housing Association. They then donated 18 hectares of land to the association and tasked it with developing this, the Harina Rental Village, about 1,000 units right here on the corner of Vetklip and Railway. Let's go and take a look at it. So when did the Harina project start? Sorry.
The Harina project started, the actual construction in fact started in 2006.
Okay.
Yes.
2006?
Yes.
So it's like about a year old now?
Yes, but the contract was signed in 2004 and 5 financial year.
When do you guys hope to complete it?
It was supposed to be completed by now, according to the contract, but there were some challenges in completing it.
And what were those challenges?
The challenges at first was poor workmanship on site and the shortage of materials. Yes.
How did you sort out, especially the workmanship part? How did you sort that out?
Yeah, these people were trained on site, because remember we supposed to empower our local people. Yes.
But are they trained now?
Yeah.
So the same people are doing better now?
Yes, they are doing better.
Wow.
They acquired more skills on this.
Are you being serious?
Yes.
You know, we've been traveling all over, and in the Eastern Cape, they told us they had to get rid of the small contractors because they were not doing well. On other places, they said they got bigger contractors, and you guys actually trained them, and now they are doing, the same people are doing the work well.
Yes, because we do supervision on site.
Yeah.
There are project managers who come, and I'm one of them. So we show them how to construct these houses, showing them the specification, explaining to them.
And they have learned, and they're doing better. So
yes.
Now, how far into the project are you?
So far, we have managed to complete 508 units, because this project was allocated 1,000 units.
So you are on 508. Is that like what, phase one?
Yeah, it's phase one, because it's divided into 2 phases.
And then the second phase will be to finish all 1,000.
Yes.
Now, who qualifies for rental units here?
People who are earning from 1.5 thousand to 7.5.
Now, how big are the units here?
The units, we have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, so different types of house.
Okay, well, thank you for coming on BNG and clarifying all that.
Okay, thank you.
Dumela Fili. Yeah. So, when did you start living more Harin?
Last year, November.
No, look okay before.
Okay, Ke bereka sepetlele be ke dula nurses home ko sepetlele.
Okay.
Ba ba re ntsha.
So, he o compare le o dula ko sepetlele le mo?
No, ko sepetlele ke re be le di one room yana. E kikisi tlhakane le bedroom at the same time.
And the more it's only what, 2 bedroom, 1?
Yeah, ke two bedroom mo.
Okay, and we have it.
Ke thabetse. Le le hore ke bona ka rent ntse ya duranyana.
Rent ya tur. Ke problem ya teng. Okay.
Because rena salary tsa rena di ko faso sa lo bona. Re tsaya yona 1.6 ko mga o tshala sena selo.
Okay. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll go and look at one of the more ambitious projects here in Polokwane. Welcome back. Thanks for watching. Extension 71, where we are going, must be a shining example of housing delivery in the city of Polokwane. Completed in record time, 1,000 units, located about 7 kilometers from the city center in an industrial area. It's quite unique. Let's go take a look at it. So Malathela, tell me about Extension 71. For me, it looks like a real achievement for the municipality.
It's a real achievement for the whole province of Limpopo because we started this at 2006-2007 financial year, and we managed to do 1,000 units, top structure and services at a record time.
Wow.
It went smooth because all our stakeholders, municipality, NHBRC, and ourselves as a department, we are hands-on on this project. We made sure that beneficiaries' material were ordered on time, and the program of the project were monitored full-time from our department.
And what are the learnings here moving forward for other projects like this?
The learning is it's a forward planning of doing the services first, the bulk services, then the top structure coming later the following year.
Kind of bulk services, of course, we're talking
with sewer and water.
And electricity.
Electricity, yes.
And the top structure is the actual house.
The actual house.
Now, the one thing I found unique about this project is the look of the bricks. Can you tell me a little bit about them? Because it makes the houses actually look quite nice. You don't even have to plaster them.
Yeah, the size of the brick is so unique so that it saves space. It creates more space inside the house. And its length is special because it's 300 long and the breadth is 190. So when you compare 190 and 220, that 10 or 30 millimeter, it increased the size of the house internally.
Or the size of the room itself, because the brick is not that broad.
Yes.
And then it's longer as well.
Yeah.
And in terms of cost, do you now have to pay more because of that?
We're saving money on bricks because instead of using double bricks, we will be more than 6,000 bricks per house. We're using plus minus 3,500 bricks on a house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then how did you come to this decision? How did you cook this up? I mean...
From the department, the study was taken, then we sat down with the manufacturers, explain how we need to give our people a better house, with value, a valued house, so that the house itself, it's sustainable, it's strong because it's a clay brick, and even our cement brick, the same size, it's been tested, it's a 7 MPa, it's out from the 7 MPa concrete strength. Wow.
Thanks for talking to us about Extension 71. It really is quite an amazing project.
Pleasure.
So mkhukhu kore le bangata ka ntlong, is that why le agile mkhukhu ka mo? Okay.
Ka bana re feta dikamera tse ba re file.
Okay.
O ka re ya le moshomong.
Re moshomong, ya. Re moshomong.
Moshomalla ko mo botsa le shimo boima.
Ha, boima.
A boima o fitela tsia batho la bolela le bona ka mogho ao.
In addition to what's happening in Polokwane, the Limpopo government also has some projects in the rural areas. like the Mudzidzi, the People's Housing Project, which we're going to see just now. Thanks for having BNG and Mudzidzi with us.
Thanks, Eric.
Tell me about the PHP project that you're involved in here.
Yes, in the municipality Thulamela, we have got a 100 PHP project which was allocated during 2006 and 7. And it was allocated in 3 villages. It's Ngudza, where we're having 23 units. And then we have got Mudzidzi, where we are having 43. And also Muhuyu, where we are having 23.
In terms of people wanting them, have you got numbers of people who are keen on PHP houses?
What normally happens is that municipality is having a list of beneficiaries, waiting list, where beneficiaries are always in the municipality. In other words, the need is too much. It's only that when allocation comes, it depends on how much are we allocated in the province and how much are we allocating in the municipalities. The number is quite big.
Okay. And but this is a model of success for you guys.
I'm telling you, if you can compare these houses with other houses, you can have an example of this one which is just nearby. The design, it's very much beautiful and fancy, and we used to build four boxes, but now we have changed to fancy houses which attract, which compete with the other private houses in the villages.
And in terms of cost, is it quite a, does it cost more or less, or how does it impact?
What normally happens when the allocation comes to the municipality, we have the subsidy amount per unit. For example, this one unit was allocated 36,528. What we do, we make sure, because for us to be able to have this structure of this size and this model, we have to make sure that when we buy material, we buy in bulk from the suppliers, so that we have amount that is left that we will be able to pay our local builders.
Right. Yes. And are you using local, obviously PHP, you're using the same people who are actually getting the house to build the house?
What normally happens is our beneficiaries are old-aged. They cannot build for themselves. Mostly, we also have a situation where beneficiaries do not have builders in their respective houses. What normally happens, we acquire builders from the local areas. We empower them. We transfer skills to such beneficiaries.
And then they build for you?
Yes, they build for us. The only challenge that we can say we are having, it looks beautiful, but if you can check at the process followed until we arrive at this type of houses, we had a lot of challenges. Number one, challenge of inaccessibility of the area. Trucks should deliver material, and if you can check the road we were traveling on, it is inaccessible by trucks. Then material should be dropped somewhere on the way where beneficiaries should use wheelbarrows. And also they can carry bricks one by one until they reach their homes. That is the main challenge that we are having.
But are you in touch with other stakeholders like education, social amenities, to help with all those facilities that are needed here?
Yes, normally meetings are being held amongst the communities where they talk about the needs in terms of social amenities. Then, so that each village should have, if you look at this village, we have got another village up there which is called Chidzibe. And then children cannot travel from this place to Chidzibe for a clinic. They have to have their own clinic. Right. In other words, all these processes are being integrated, are being communicated. Okay. Yes.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us.
Thanks a lot. Right.
To get an overview of housing delivery in the Polokwane municipality, we have here MEC for Local Government and Housing, MEC Maite Mashabela. Welcome to the show.
Thanks very much.
Just to start off, how is the municipality doing in terms of housing delivery?
Well, I think I would talk more about the housing delivery in Limpopo as a province, and also to say that we think we've turned the corner. Because when we started like 3 years ago, when I got appointed, the first thing we needed to do was to start working in earnest on responding to the new policy of housing, the BNG, that of responding to our people's needs, because our people were voting with their feet, leaving the places which were far-flung or far away from economic opportunities, to particularly the areas that we now refer to as our growth points, Polokwane being one of the 10 that we've identified in the province. As far as Polokwane is concerned, we think that we are on track in deracializing and also building houses in between the former Seshego townships and Mangwen townships into actually dealing with issues of buffer zones. By so doing, we think we are bringing our people closer to the areas of economic opportunity where they really need to be.
Now, you also have, I would imagine, in the province, being one of the more rural ones, some rural projects. How are those coming along?
We think we are doing very well because in the past our focus was just really more on rural and extension of former black townships. But what we are doing now, we're balancing our act by assisting those who need to be nearer economic opportunities, and those whose economic base will still be agrarian, and assisting them in the rural areas. So we're thinking we are striking a good balance between rural housing development and the rapid urbanization, which is quite a bit of a challenge countrywide, if not continent-wide.
One of your challenges, I would imagine, would be having people migrate to the big cities, work there, and then, or try to get work and then come back. How do you stop people from having dual subsidies?
The program that we have nationally, including in Limpopo, is to assist even migrant workers, that they come forward and that we look at social housing, wherein there will be rental stock for them to be able to stay near a place of work and also commute back to their respective residential areas. And that's why Garena in Polokwane has been one of the sterling pilots, wherein 518 families are now being accommodated.
I go to Joburg, I'm an indigent there, and I get a housing subsidy. And then I come back to Polokwane, my home province, and I apply for another one. How do you stop me from getting two subsidies?
By having a central data system that says with your ID book, we'll be able now to trace whether you've benefited or not. Because in the past, even within the province, because our province is quite vast, somebody could apply for a housing subsidy in Genfes, get it, and then migrate to Musina and apply again. So we think with the central data system, we've managed to deal with that problem now.
When we spoke to one of the residents there, they said it's a wonderful space, except they feel the rent is a bit high at 1,600 for a two-bedroom unit. What would you say to somebody who says that?
Well, I wish I would have been there, because I would have said to that somebody that look around town and come back to us and show us a rental property unit wherein they will be paying less than 1,600. I know that for sure because we've got several of our junior officials who work with us here who've gone into private rental stock and nothing is nearer 1,600.
MEC, thank you so much for speaking to us here on BNG.
My pleasure.
Don't go away. Tulu is going to take you through the BNG housing upgrade competition. Stay with us.
Upgrade your policy with My Home from ABSA. SMS your full name to 32916 to apply. Let's break new ground together.
Thank you, Eric. Welcome back to our BNG renovation segment. This week we'll be looking at fencing. Fencing provides you with a sense of security, and it also adds value to your property and your home. Now, there are many different ways of fencing your property, but this week we'll be looking at a relatively inexpensive option for you to try out. What are the benefits of fencing your property?
Firstly, it's from a security point of view. Number two, it's also from a demarcation point of view, that you know that this property belongs to me and the neighbor has the property next door. And also adds value to your property.
What materials are we using to fence this property?
Well, we're using a 1,2 high welded wire mesh fence, which in my opinion is a far more superior product to the contemporary diamond mesh that has always been used for the past 100 odd years. The type of materials we use is, we use a 76 diameters round pole at every corner and end and at the gate. We use the black ISCO standards, which we normally drive into the ground, and then we use 3 straining wires, one at the top, one in the middle, and one at the bottom.
What do you look out for when you fence a home?
When you get onto a site, the first thing that one ascertains is the terrain of the ground. Is the site leveled? Is there any shrubbery in the way? Once we've ascertained that, we can then work out the type of fence you really need for the application.
How long will it take to erect Gogo's fence?
A fencing contract of this size around a domestic application would normally take about a day and a half, meaning we plant the poles the first day, you allow them to dry, and if you don't allow them to dry, they are going to pull away. And thereafter, the following day we come and we put in the black ISCO wire standards, the straining wire, and we then tension the mesh onto that.
What should one expect to pay for a job like this?
A fencing contract of this caliber here, approximately 30 lineal meters with a pedestrian single gate, being this one, is around about 5,400 Rand, excluding VAT.
And don't forget, if you have already started to renovate your home, you could win yourself building materials to the value of 10,000 Rand. Simply send us a picture of your home to bng@housing.gov.za or post it to PO Box 31201, Braamfontein 2017. We'll see you again next week at Breaking New Ground. Have a fantastic week.
Upgrade your policy with My Home from Absa. SMS your full name to 32916 to apply. Let's break new ground together.
That's it for this edition of Breaking New Ground. From me, Eric Mieni, and the BNG team, until next week, Monday at 10 p.m. right here on SABC2. So long.